Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Hello, welcome everybody to another day, another morning, another bit of StarCraft 2 is coming down the woodworks for you, down the pipes. Hope you're ready for it, because you know, these ones are seemingly pretty epic. Let me see whether or not these players are ready. We got the both of them saying the go sign, so you know, we're just gonna hop right into it. Guys, we have some amazing best of 9 action for you right here, right before the GSL actually is going to start, of course, in a little bit as well. But before then, you're going to have to make do with me, alright? So, Zoun versus Dong Ray Gu, DRG, of course. A amazing show match series that I've been looking forward to for a while now. For, I don't know how long, actually. Not that long. I haven't been aware of it happening, actually, for that long. But if I were, I would have been quite excited for a while. DRG still one of my, you know, maybe my favorite Zerg to watch. Honestly, it's, I know he kind of fell out of fashion for a while, right? Ooh, actually, getting rid of that logo right here. Sorry, boys. All right. Doesn't have that one. Also, it's not trapped this time. All right, we're set up, it looks like. Production. Okay, anyway, in the top right side we have a red Protoss player. He is fighting for Alpha X, and he is Zoun. In that bottom left side we have that blue Zerg. He's fighting for Freak Freaks. He is none other than DRG. Also Team GP. I'm still a little bit confused. Last time I checked the Liquipedia, he was already saying in-game Clan GP, but on Liquipedia I definitely mentioned a Freak still. Let me double check this actually again. Maybe it got updated or something. Liquipedia's it and DRG. Let's take a look over here. Did it change? No, it still says Freak a Freak. So I'm still not completely convinced on what that all means, but we'll run with it, alright? We'll try to run with it. Anyway, so far both these players going for a pretty standard play. Of course, DRG famous for using and abusing that Mutalisk attack a whole lot. Zoun more so known for his overall efficiency with the adept pushes. The Adept Glaives, of course, always a potential threat. Does alright with those Stargate openings as well. Mixes those in now and again, of course. Very difficult for anyone to just make it work with one build. So you need to mix in a couple of them. But you know what? To be fair, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Adept Glaive attack coming in first here. We have to wait, though, of course, for the attack to be revealed for us. But it's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. And we can kind of see what kind of overall tempo these guys want to play with. Usually in best of 9s, you know what, you don't always see the players all that excited to go in a mass macro kind of game. Of course, in a best of 9 that could take a little bit here, could drain you slightly. It's usually only the players that really feel like that is their best shot at victory that they will try to just continuously grind it out with big macro games. But I mean, Zoun, he's more so of a player that likes to have that early aggression. DRG as well, a player that loves to be aggressive overall, right? So I don't think it's gonna be too long of a series, but I would love to see a couple of macro games between these two very aggressive players. As those, you know what? Those macro games, usually pretty darn solid. Anyway, there is the Adept Glaive attack indeed coming up. Let's take a look for DRG. So far, not really too many defensive structures haven't been built yet. No Roach Warren, no Bailing Nest, nothing of that sort. He's okay, of course, still doesn't necessarily need them just yet, but I think the time is coming pretty close for him to start having to invest into something here. See what he goes for so far. As for Circlings, of course, the worker count pretty equal. There's the War Prism. Alright, DRG is gonna try to commit here with a scout, it looks like, first and foremost. Yeah, he's gonna try to get into that main base. There's a couple of Zerglings as well, scouting out, trying to find any sneaky Protoss units flying out of that main base, of course. Which should see that War Prism actually coming on through here. Should be enough, those two Adepts as well. Ooh, already the Overlord spotting it. Alright. And there's the Roach Warren. Now the Roach Warren isn't going to be in time here for that first initial wave, unfortunately. We do have a lot of Zerglings being constructed. Also, in fact, a Spine Crawler. How many queens? 5 queens in total. Alright, that does seem like a reasonable amount. Should be able to kind of hold off these attacks here up until the roaches are ready. And there is the queen. Concave. The conga line of queens is coming forwards here. I'm not sure how you call those dance crews, but that kind of looked like those, you know, those showgirls that you see from in Las Vegas everywhere, where they just stand in a line and they kick their legs all the sides. I don't know. Kind of had a little bit of a reminiscent feeling of that. But in this case, it was queens. You know what? Somebody who's good at animating, go and make that happen. And it's now an image that I actually do need to see. Right, he's keeping DRG, that is, of course, keeping tabs here on that third base as well. Wants to make sure that nothing too crazy is coming out there. And, well, it kind of is, right? Because Zoun's still only on that 2 base. Is going to invest into Immortals here as well. Might actually decide to go for some sort of a follow-up timing attack with those Immortals here. After forcing DRG into a lot of roaches here because of those, because of the Adepts. Also getting himself Blink, very interesting. Opting for a little bit more mobility here. Oh boy, that is a bit unfortunate. We'll stay alive, but once again, quite close to death there. Alright, now Zoun is going to add that third base, it looks like. Debs not really having found anything just yet, and DRG on a very solid work account, but Let's see if these adepts finally will be able to get something else to work out. It doesn't look like it. Actually moving a bit too far between the mineral line and... yeah, getting fully surrounded here. Only a single adept getting out. There are the blink stocks in the main base as well, though. Maybe they'll have a little bit more luck. It looks like only a couple extra do go down because of this, but... yeah, so far not looking too great for Zoun. DRG very solid. Being able to hold his own here. And drone up behind it as well. Very, very strongly. So does have quite a bit of everything he needs. Even gonna invest into a couple of nice things right here for the later parts of the game. The roach speed, bailing speed, +1 melee attack. So, you know what, DRG, he did invest a little bit into roaches, but ultimately, of course, the zerglings is where his heart lies. We all love to see from him, of course. Alright, might do a little bit of a pressure, actually. He's making a lot of those roaches right now. And only more roaches on the way. Also zerglings, so definitely, you know what, he might be anticipating an attack, and that is in fact coming in right now. Does get the re-scout there on that third base, and yeah, well, DRG, he definitely made a whole lot of army here. It seems like he was aware of this coming in for a while now, but does he still have enough? Is this going to be a sufficient amount of defensive units to hold off against all these sentries and immortals, of course? Hallucinated Archons at the front to tank some damage. Look at that Spinecrawler just continuously poking at that at those two Archons. So far, not really having done too much just yet. And, you know, actually targeting down sentries right now, and DRG. Holy moly! All right, it looks like he should have enough here, right? I don't think he will go down here. Trading rather okay-ish, but you know it might still go into. Other one's fitting now. You know, he's fine. He's absolutely wonderfully fine. Nothing really to fault there. I have to say, just made all the right units that he needed to. Killing off the Warpers now as well. And Zoun is going to have to make the rough decision to go home here without really having been able to do anything. Losing a couple of units even along the way now. And DRG smells blood in the water, getting himself more roaches, more lings, and nothing else but those units right now. Should be able to push him in, and there it is, GG being called. DRG taking that one rather handsomely. The old generation this time around does manage to stay afloat. Zoun, the younger one, not quite yet being able to take him on right then and there. DRG just reading into that situation a little bit too well. And being able to prepare absolutely, well, stellarly. Right, let's take a look what map. Golden Wall. Alright, here we go. We will have ourselves some Golden Wall. Which is always, you know what, a pretty darn cool map to see. Let's get both players in here. That would be preferable. Let's make ourselves some referees, and they are both going to me. All right. Anyway, guys, events like these, they would not be possible, of course, without the help of our sponsors. So one of them is G Fuel. G Fuel, the official drink of esports. If you're not drinking G Fuel, it's probably not worth drinking, as G Fuel, it ramps up your energy from 0 to 100 real quick. It sharpens your focus, so you can keep your eye on the prize. It increases your endurance, because we all know, of course, gaming is a marathon, not a sprint, guys. And lastly, G Fuel hydrates you, so you only have to thirst for victory. Now, go get it, guys. G Fuel, the official drink of esports. Help yourself stay hydrated, of course. Lovely formula. Drink for energy. Alright, here we go. Guys, game number 2. Let me bring you in. Man, the transition effect really hasn't been all that smooth recently, has it? Still a little bit of a hiccup there. Anyway. Let's introduce these players again for the second time. In the bottom left side corner, Freaka Freaks is DRG. Bottom right, the red Protoss. Fighting for Alpha X, he is Zoun. Alright, not finding too much success that previous game. Might have to try some other stuff this time around. I'll have to wait and see, of course, what he's going to be able to pull out of that big Protoss head of his. And DRG just, you know what, it felt like just a casual game for him. He already knew exactly what was going to happen before it even happens. And prepared for it absolutely brilliantly. Nothing to add about that. Cybercore as per usual after that Nexus. Seeing that he can get away with this one. He's got himself two simulators here as well. It's kind of caster warm up here, guys, for me. Just mentioning the normal things. Overlord, there he is. Look at that Overlord. Anyway, so yeah, I just noticed that I don't have my chat at the moment. There we go. Would like to see all those lovely Koreans, of course, talking smack and laughing sometimes. Probe overstaying is welcome here a little bit, so Zerglings will be able to start chasing it down. Probe will not be able to stick here. Ooh, does manage to get a bit of a scout though for that third drone base. Or the third base drone, I should say. What kind of structures are we seeing? Just a robotics facility actually from Zoun. Very interesting. Now the thing with that previous game to note probably is that, of course, he did go for the Adepts and he was mostly fighting against those Zerglings, but even then he really couldn't find any type of opening. There were just a bit too many of them. And then especially with all the queens there as well, holding back that War Prism, making things rather difficult here for our red Protoss. Which if, I mean, Adepts with glaives aren't enough to break through a mostly Zergling army, then that might be a problem. That might be a problem. But this is his second chance. This time, not going to go for the glaive, just going to go straight into the robotics facility. Will send his Wild Prism over here to help out with that Overlord. There he goes. Should be able to pick that one off nicely. Having that adapter take over in the wall here. And so far just more and more drones on that production tab. See, 3 queens so far. Alright, that Overlord not getting a scout off, but this one over here though, being able to get a pretty reasonable one. Need to see pretty much everything. Of course, he's not quite sure that if this is everything, is gonna add a Roach Warren. It might be in response to him believing that there might be a Twilight Council somewhere as well, because this does look a little bit reminiscent of that game number 1, of course, with the War Prison and the Adepts. This time around, though, glaive is severely going to be delayed if there is going to be a glaive attack. Immortals, of course, quite a hefty counter to those roaches, but we're gonna have to wait and see if that is going to be what we'll have on the menu here. Maybe DRG just gonna go straight into those Mutalisks. That is a possibility as well. Lay attack on the way, although we are only seeing, let's take a quick glance, three extractors so far being constructed, so I think we are going to go straight into those mutas. As much as I'd like to see it. He's just going to play it smart, play it safe. Realizing most likely that Zoun is a very aggressive Protoss. And going into the very quick Mutalisk most likely won't help you out too much against those Adept timings and Stalker timing. Well, Sentry Immortal timings here. So I'm doing a good job cleaning up creep. That is one thing for certain. DRG also doing a pretty good job at just reclaiming that space immediately when he needs to. One Zergling, very quick on the scouts here. A couple of other Zerglings. Are they going to run around for a attempted run by? No, sir. Okay, you know. Zoun just going to go for a third base here. Was not expecting that necessarily. Was thinking about some sort of a timing attack with those immortals. Not going to be the case. Just going to go straight into that third base here. Of course, later on you will have to pressure the Zerg at some point. And, well, that some point looks to be arriving sooner rather than later. Zergling does manage to get the scout there. And, well, I mean, the work account for DRG, once again, nothing to scoff at. Pretty darn solid. Also, that army supply looking pretty good as well. He most likely was anticipating a little bit of a pressure here, seeing those sentries and immortals moving out and about. Or at least he had to start prepping for it, which did cause him to slow down the worker production a little bit here. But he's already up to 67. So maybe not the worst case scenario for him. And Zoun just continuously flying out and about with that War Prism. The 4 Stalkers being able to do quite a bit so far. DRG starting spread creep to that bottom side of the map as well right now. Gonna have to keep tabs on that map side as well. Just as much as the top side, of course. Want to get blindsided here. Alright, Zerglings might be able to... Well, there is an Adept there, a little bit slightly off center. There are the 2 Phoenixes here. Alright. More creep getting knocked off here. Getting picked off. I want to put another creep to me here. I'm not completely sure. Actually, Zerglings, oh boy. You blink and they're in. That is always unfortunate. That doesn't look like they will get a whole lot. Yeah, that one... The one Adept here a little bit out of the wall. Does get to be punished here by DRG slightly. And Zoun has to pay attention to tiny things like that a little bit more so. It's going to go straight into Colossi right now with extended thermal lance. But already we're seeing that spy attack coming along. Spy attack, of course, a great way to answer the Colossus. And let's hope Zoun does manage to get the scouts here. Zergling makes certain that there is in fact a 4th base on the way. Alright, hallucinations coming on in. There we go, there's the scout on that spy attack. Let's hope he clicks on it, as there's a whole lot of stuff happening here. Zerglings on this 4th base. As well as Roaches prepping to go for that 3rd base a little bit here. Moving backwards though. Not completely sure why he moved backwards. Would have been a nice 1-2 attack coming in with the Roaches on this side after luring the entirety of the army to the right side. But playing it safe, playing it cool, getting himself a lot of Corruptors there. 11 of them in fact. And that is more than enough to take care of those Colossi here. Both these players just kind of gearing up for the late game, it looks like. Neither of them so far really too aggressive. I guess there was some aggression from DRG here and there with the Lynx running by, trying to delay this base. Definitely doing some stuff that's worthwhile. But of course, you know what, overall, no timing attack. Nothing really of note in that sense. Some creep denial as well, but nothing that I wouldn't expect to see from any... pro player at this level. Alright, maybe a little bit of an engagement is going to be happening here. A lot of force fields are available. The Ravagers, of course, also as well. Gonna be able to deny a lot of the force fields efficiency. Zealots running in as well at the same time. Notices that DRG a little bit out of position here. Gonna be able to deal quite a bit of damage right now. The Queen's coming in trying to help out, but you know what, here we have it. This is the engagement that we were waiting for. Oh my dear lord, the Banelings getting rather close. Landing pretty much right on top of the army of Zoun here, and that looks like, you know what, he lost most of his stuff. Sending in more Zealots. Zealots are pretty good against those Ravagers, and you know, it's just a little bit too many Corruptors here, I would say. So not that much remaining on the ground for DRG. As DRG, he did take a little bit of damage, right? Right, did he? Oh dear lord, it wasn't that bad, honestly though. Looking back on it, we did lose a couple of Queens, almost losing the Spy here. Something he has to keep aware of. But other than that, I think that was a worthwhile trade for him. Killing off all those Colossi. Actually, let's take a look. It's pretty reasonable for Zoun. The problem is him losing bases like this, right? Getting this base delayed, now losing this base. That's the real problem here. So his income, let's take a look. Yeah, that is very heavily favored for DRG. So the slight disadvantage here gonna be made up in full by the income difference right now, as DRG already getting himself a 5th base as well. Alright, Corruptors flying out and about, looking to prowl. Once again, we're gonna use that corrosive bile, the corrosive goo, the fountain of poison. And there it is, another Nexus dies. Zoun not having any of it. He is just gonna move forwards. He does have that storm for High Templar here. It would be great if he manages to get this fight off of creep, but I'm not sure if DRG will let that occur. Alright, Archons at the front. 2 storms not really hitting their mark. Banelings coming in from each angle here, surrounding the entire Protoss army. Quickly transforming into Archons. Does manage to keep a lot of the stocks alive by blinking backwards here. Zealots coming in later as well to try and safeguard them from those Banelings. No more Banelings remaining, but still a hefty number of Zerglings. And only a single Archon here. Okay, the Zerglings seemingly have been dealt with. Zoun pushing on forwards. Drones have to be pulled off the line. May be enough here for Zoun. He's definitely starting to do damage, but of course he needs to do every bit of damage that he can, as he did lose his main base here. He did lose that gold base as well for a while. And, ooh, he is gonna get rejected one more time here. The Corruptors looks like they did manage to get rid of that War Prism here. And now the Corruptors once again sniping another Nexus here. That is absolutely nuts. Those Corruptors, absolute MVP this match so far. And Zoun without any response for those flying fountains of death. Taking more losses here with his army. His worker count is pretty solid now though, after killing off all the workers of DRG. Unfortunately, of course, as we have established before, Zoun just not really on that many bases to mine from. Right, lost his main base, lost that 4th base, so he's mining off of 2 bases right now. He's long distance mining mostly, and oversaturated as well on that gold base, so yeah, I'm not sure how long that slight advantage in that department is going to last, especially because DRG already kind of re-established his drone lead once more. 86 army supply as well. This is not looking all too great. Gonna add in Broodlords now as well, and not much of a answer so far for Zoun to really deal with those. He does have the blink, I suppose. He has +2 attack as well. But other than that, definitely quite problematic here. Oh, Zoun taking the long way around, actually going through the golden mineral patches that he has cleaned up now to take a base to the bottom right position. And here are the Broodlords. Archons, oh dear lord. Yeah, this is a wonderful position for those Broodlords to be in, especially under the protection of the Roaches and the Ravagers on the bottom side. And now Zoun's just trying to get rid of those Broodlings here. Has to evacuate another base. Trying to snipe away at those Broodlords, but not really finding any much efficient trading there. Has to warp in an extra bit of protective padding. Getting some of those Zealots. A lot of probes died so far. Zoun trying to hold on here. I don't think he's going to be able to. I think we're going to have another victory here for Mr. DRG, as he's taking down another base once again. DRG on an absolute roll, and showing that the old generation still looking pretty darn strong. And of course he was one of the, if not the best Zerg in the world for a long amount of time. And you know what, it looks like he is reclaiming some of that former glory right now, right here. once again, as he has been doing for quite a while now in all those other matches that we do get to see from him. As he's just absolutely tearing people apart, and Zoun looks to be like one next meal for him. There it is, a second game in DRG's favor. Zoun needs to try and come up with something else here. Not all that impressed so far, unfortunately. With his play, of course, we have had Zoun be very strong against other players. Estrella wants to join in the cast. Alright, yeah, sure, let's bring him in. For 2 games. Okay, Estrella. We're gonna have Estrella here. That's pretty nuts. Probably noticed how sleepy I am, and then was like, and then he was like, "Oh yeah, let's get in, let's give him a call." Hello, sir.
Hello.
Estrella, what's up, my man?
Not much, just chilling.
Just chilling, man. You've been watching these games right here.
Yeah, I have.
You have. What's your thoughts overall?
Zerg's good race.
Zerg's a good race. You don't think DRG is also pretty good?
Nah, DRG seems to be playing quite well. Actually,
Yes.
I've heard from some of the other top Korean Zergs that he's one of the first Zergs to really master how to shut down the Adept build. That's been really popular recently.
Yeah, I mean, he made it look a little bit silly just there. Actually, let me try to get your volume to a good place. I think I can just put you on max. Pretty much. We'll just figure it out. Sushi will keep whispering me until it's okay. I think so. Should be good.
Okay.
Ah, there it is. Man! You excited for the GSL as well?
Yeah, I'm excited. I kind of know what Sasha's got planned up her sleeve.
Does make it a lot extra exciting, probably, right?
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I would imagine. Okay, let me see. Did I already say go? Oh no, wait. Zoun actually said wait for Zoun. I see. Yes. Man, the arcade is just spamming me here with stuff. I think the arcade in Korea actually the busiest of all of them. All right.
You have that.
Sorry?
Never mind.
You sure? All right. Zoun looking upset here. I'm not quite sure what's happening with him.
I think he's gonna need to pull out a different build personally.
Yeah. Yeah, DRG making him look a little bit silly so far. Especially that first game. I honestly thought DRG was going to be a little bit underprepared, but he was perfectly prepared. He had everything in the bag on lockdown. Nothing to be worried about. Alright, anyway. You want to do some introductions?
Sure, I got it.
Right.
I'll do a Zoun. In the bottom right-hand corner, we have Zoun.
Lovely. Alright, in that top left side, we have Afrika Freaks, DRG. You know, actually, it continuously... I'm still confused. It says Team GP, right, in-game. But Liquipedia still puts him on Afrika Freaks.
Yeah, a lot of players on Korea have the Clan GP tag. I don't know why. I don't know what really the purpose of it is. But even in his name, it says Africa, because it's on Africa.
Yeah.
Clan GP, Africa, DRG.
Maybe
I don't know.
Clan GP just is like a training hub or something like that?
It could be. Like, I know a lot of players have the into the tag also.
Yeah.
Even
I've noticed that
games.
too. And then they don't even have the other actual clan tag in their name sometimes as well.
Yeah.
Makes it very difficult for me. So what would you say, Zoun, is like a Stargate build? Would you think that would be better here, or just kind of mix something in like that, or?
Well, the first thing I noticed is that I don't remember the first 2 games, but in general, I know Zoun does not try to block the natural of the Zerg, which is quite common in Korea these days. So maybe a hatch block would be nice some of these games, but it seems like he's quite happy to just gateway scout for now.
Yeah, you're right on that one. I did hear some crazy statistics on that as well, right? It's like 10% extra win rate or something if you manage to get that block off.
Where did you hear that?
I don't know. I must have heard it somewhere in the grapevine, but I'm not even sure if the person who did tell me was. It may have been in like some GSL cast. I think maybe. So
I feel like
it's probably wrong, but
I feel like I've heard that as well, but I also think that's just something like if you ask a Zerg player what the win rate of 2 or 3 racks is, they'll be like, oh, it's 100%.
everyone says that. That's true.
He is going for Stargate though this game, which is interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, every time I see Zoun play, he usually likes to just go between either the Stargates or the Adept Glaive attack. He doesn't really do too much else. That build we saw in that previous game kind of had me grasping for straws because I haven't seen him do that actually ever. He stayed very defensive, didn't he?
Yeah, for whatever reason, I've seen a build similar to Zoun's like that a lot on Golden Wall, but only Golden Wall. So I'm not sure what it is about that map. But
maybe the golden minerals. He's just like, you know what, with those golden minerals I might be able to keep up with the Zerg, or
yeah, if the Zerg takes the gold, then it's really good because it's easy to harass with stalkers from behind the gold. But if the Zerg doesn't take the gold, it doesn't seem to be I can't think of a reason why it'd be a good build on that map in particular.
Yeah, it was his first pick as well, so it must feel like it's a really good map for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Interesting. Have you gotten to play against DRG actually recently? Or
I have played him somewhat recently in an ESL Cup. I think maybe I can't remember what week, but recently. And I died it to the Mutalisks.
Did you block his hatch? Or
I didn't block his hatch, but I was
well, there you go.
zapping all my I was zapping his drones, like Zoun was zapping DRG's drones. I was killing his workers with my depths, and then 12 mutas showed up, and that was real sad.
He only got 2. It's not that great, is it?
What's in the main, Mr. Kozan?
Oh my! Oh my! That's interesting. Okay. Not seen that one before. You think he's just gonna go for carriers here, or what?
Yeah, he's gonna go for carriers.
Interesting. Very interesting. Ooh, oh man. I mean, we haven't seen spy attack from DRG so far, but it would have been pretty cool for Zoun to just go straight up Phoenix, Phoenix range, and then anticipate DRG going for the Mutalisk. But won't work out too well against those roaches.
So this is actually if I'm not mistaken, this is a stats build originally. That I've seen Zoun use it a few times. He's just gonna stock up 4 carriers, and if the Zerg doesn't scout, it's gonna be real hard for him to hold like just 4 carriers walking across the map.
Yeah.
As funny as that sounds.
Well, yeah, I mean, the Phoenix definitely doing a good job right now of denying any scouting. He's just lurking about on that map. Did kill off all the overlords that are nearby. It's just Zerglings right now that he has to concern himself with. Is there another way for DRG to kind of get an inkling that this is happening without actually seeing either the fleet beacon or the carriers?
I haven't been watching too closely, but I'm sure some of Zoun's timings are different from normal. Like his third base was probably later, although I wasn't really watching too closely. And it's a bit strange he has no sentries at this point. Obviously, he needs a lot of gas. But that being said, it's quite hard in the moment to think of these types of things.
Yeah, to pick it up.
The easiest thing to do is what he's doing, which is building an overseer, and if he gets into the main base, you'll see it.
Yeah, he is on his way. He doesn't have Overlord speed just yet. How many carriers so far? It's just 2. Okay, looks like he's actually already kind of starting to move out with the 2. You think that might give DRG a bit too much of a time to defend against this? Or?
Yeah, DRG should be perfectly fine because actually he's going Hydras, which is a little bit rare these days, but he already has, oh my gosh, he already has 12 Hydras out, so he's going to be completely fine.
Oh boy. Also 5 queens and a Nidus network, so is he just going to shut this down, go across the map and kill Zoun here? Is that what's going to happen? Oh boy.
I don't want to say that's what's going to happen, but I think that's what's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, Storm, that Storm needs to get extra chrono boosted right now. It needs a lot of help getting ready. Also, Archons, I suppose, could be a good call here. I mean, is this rough?
Seems
Okay,
like
status trap.
Zoun definitely knows this is coming. He's dropping the stasis, he's dropping 2 more cannons. He hasn't seen a 4th base.
That's a good call, actually. Oh, just Circlings, unfortunately.
Oh, barriers! Oh, that's really bad.
Coming in from behind. Missed trajectory there. Alright, well, here he is. Also putting down a couple of those drones here. Out of that, I'm not sure why those are there, actually. Maybe a mistake. Anyway.
This storm can't be done fast enough.
Exactly. It is done now, but is it too late? Is it too little? It very well might be, as everything's dead.
That's a lot of Zerg units.
It very much is.
Not a lot of Zoun units.
No. There's still 2 shield batteries though, so he might be okay. He might... No, he just ran away from them. Okay. GG. DRG, man. 3-0 so far, and Zoun is no slouch in PvZ, right? He's considered to be quite good at it, I'd say.
He's no slouch, but when your adept build gets shuts down that hard, it's easier for the Zerg to deal with the other builds. If that makes sense.
Gonna just put up your picture as well, by the way, for the... It's Estrella, guys. Estrella's casting.
Oh god. That's me, guys. I'm at the beach right now, actually. That's a live shot.
Yeah, right now. You're a ventriloquist as well. Right, yeah, so he's no slouch at PvZ, right?
He's no slouch, but the thing is, the strongest build in the matchup was previously the adept build. And now that Zergs are getting quite good at dealing with that, it makes all the Protoss builds weaker, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because there was a lot of variation, right, with the adept builds overall. Kind of how you open it up, and then how you transition out of it, I suppose.
Yeah, there's a lot of variation, and when you have one super strong build, you kind of always have that in the back of your mind, like, okay, I need to think about this, and then it makes your defense, if they're doing something else, a bit harder.
Yeah, it makes sense. That does make sense. Alright, guys, remember there's the Mecherino page as well, so very much would appreciate all those codes being used. There's a little chat box, and above it there's a little annotation. How do you call this actually? The amplifier of the... I lack the word for it. I know the Dutch word, but I'm not sure. Do you know what I'm talking about? Or...
I don't.
You don't know. Alright, well, it's gonna stay a mystery then, alright, guys? But right there is a little website you can go to with a code. Make sure to go check it out. Add a little bit of extra money for these guys to that prize pool. As, you know what, they deserve it, of course. Anyway. Right. This is the moment where we decide which one we're gonna introduce first.
I'll introduce DRG this time.
Alright.
Alright, in the bottom right hand corner we have Dongregu.
And the top left side, there's the red Protoss. He is Alpha Axis Zoun. I've been hearing as well that Björn is still playing a lot on the Korean ladder. Is that true?
It is true.
It is true.
I've gotten bopped to like 4 times by
Oh my.
They're getting quite close.
He's rank 1 now, isn't he? That's what Mage told me.
Not right now, but he definitely has been. He has been.
Okay. Man, oh, imagine just Björn and DRG coming back and then both of them, once they're in top condition again, just going at it.
Well, it's crazy because most of the time it takes a while for the pros to come back. Like DRG, I don't know exactly how long he's been back, but it's been a while, right? Just now.
Let me see. I had his Liquipedia up here. Let me get it back actually. When did he come back? Like relatively, I feel like it's one of the quickest ever that we've seen. Actually, well, you know what? Somewhere in 2018, I think November somewhere. It looks like he came back and he joined Afrika S2. But I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how far did some overlay things. I'm not sure how far or how much he really practiced at that time, to be fair, because it's only been recently where we've really seen a resurgence of him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's taken a while, right?
Yeah, apparently it did, yeah.
I remember I played him in some super tournament qualifiers last year, and I wasn't too impressed.
Yeah,
but he's looking quite good.
Yeah, exactly. That's the interesting part as well. Ooh, doesn't get that third block, but like it definitely took a while for him to get back on that stage, but it feels like as soon as he did kind of get back on that stage, he's been grinding it out really hard, or he's just been on his game a lot more so recently, right? As we kind of seen him come back into the scene, that's when his progression started to skyrocket suddenly.
Yeah, that's definitely fair to say. Of course, we're yet to see a really crazy result. Like round of 32 GSL is good, but it's not anything special, for instance.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he keeps improving and putting up better and better results.
Once again, the adept glaive builds here. So we're just gonna have to keep our eye out, I guess, for what DRG is gonna do to really defend against this. He just made a bunch of links that previous time. He had like 5 queens in total. A little conga line of queens poking away at the Warp Prism. How influential would you say it is that if the Warp Prism doesn't get the to warp in immediately, like you know, you have to reposition it? Do you think that's a big deal, or not that much?
You mean like it sets up and then, oh, the queens are there, I have to go back a bit?
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty bad if you have to do that. That can kind of ruin the build.
Okay. Because that did happen the previous time, so maybe. Maybe.
I don't remember that happening, but yeah, if that did happen, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Oh, there's the Overlord. Hello, Mr. Warp Prism. Gonna get the rescout with that Zergling, perhaps? No. Actually, didn't see him there, but already aware, of course. Roachhorn, like, only now he's put down his Roachhorn, right? As the Warp Prism is already on the way. He's got 18 links in production. But yeah, just like, it feels like all he adds is a small amount of links. Well, a relatively small amount of links. Still at like 46 workers. And the Zerglings. I guess because Zerglings are kind of his style, he's really good at being reactive with them and stuff like that. So he's always right on top of the shades. That might be a big deal as well.
Yeah, the mobility of the Zergling is a huge reason why they're a really viable answer in holding this push. And actually, DRG managed to hold this off of 44 workers, whereas a lot of Zergs try to hold this off less.
Yeah. Does have roaches now as well, and just runs out there, kills a whole lot of those adepts. 3 of them do manage to get into that natural base, so does have to run away with some of his drones here a little bit, but no significant damage yet been taken here. Now more Zerglings arrive to help out with this scene. Oof.
Yeah, this is reminding me a lot of Game 1, where I feel like not much damage was done, and I think DRG is in quite a good spot right now.
I would agree, yeah, unfortunately. So what would you do as a follow-up here? Zoun is just gonna go for Blink, but...
Oh, he might be losing his sentries here, which would be really bad.
Force fields! Hold the line! Hold! Well, you know, put the Warp Prism here. It's gonna help out a lot, but...
No, Mortal coming in from the back. This should be okay.
How many sentries did he lose there? Only one. Those are expensive boys, of course. And DRG, I think the Evo chambers now.
Interesting push from DRG. It wasn't worth it in the end, but I would still say that he's in quite an okay position considering his worker count.
Yeah, for sure.
And the thing about the Adept build is that your tech is quite delayed. Zoun doesn't actually have a forge yet. Oh, now he's just now throwing it down. And your gateway count stays quite low for a while.
So that push for DRG, right? Would you say that it's not just meant to do damage, but also kind of keep tabs on what Zoun is doing?
He probably wanted it to do some damage. Like, it looked promising at the start of the push, and DRG was probably thinking the same thing. Like, oh, maybe I can do some damage here, and then Zoun's units and Warp Prism showed up, and Zoun's like, no damage for you.
Yeah. Alright, alright. Blink is ready at this moment. Painting speech is now getting constructed. Yeah. I mean, where would you want to go towards right now, being Zoun? What would you say? Like, get some other tech going? Like, I'm not even sure
Most
which
of the
one.
time, you try to get Storm down and continue to play the game normally. Once in a while, you'll kind of just try to kill the Zerg with a Blink all in, which is what we saw game 1, I believe. But it seems like Zoun is quite okay to just throw down Storm eventually, throw down a couple of safety cannons and a battery, and play out a macro game.
Okay, okay. I guess that's what he just kind of. This just doesn't seem to be a really good opportunity overall. That's the thing.
It's okay. Like he's in a playable position because he's alive and he has units.
Yeah, he's alive.
On the way.
He hasn't died yet.
But it's definitely not favorable or anything like that.
Overall, the unit loss that looking okay for him. Income graph not that different either. Does get 3 drones there with that Warp Prism and the 3 adapts as well.
Yeah, we have a Dongregu throwing down Infestation Pit Spire, so it seems like Dongregu is quite happy to eventually get his Broodlords and just try to defend until then.
Yeah. Another thing I'm noticing here for DRG is, I'm not sure, this might be more so a Korean thing, I think as well, but he usually just gets 1 attack upgrade here, and it's always the melee attack. He doesn't ever really get the ranged attack.
Honestly, I think this is a bit more standard, although sometimes you see a double Evo and you get the melee and the ranged attack. The +2 Banelings and Zerglings are just so good that I think most of the time Zerg players would prefer melee.
Alright, alright. Getting thwarted there. Warp Prism not really being able to find much. Hallucinations trying to keep tabs on the overall.
Oh, the Warp Prism in the bottom.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's not
how? It can fly. Okay, oh well. Circling's, you know what? He's just setting up run-bys everywhere.
Yeah. This is a really good thing to be doing as Zerg, because Protoss really needs to try to push before the Broodlords are out, or else he's going to have a real hard time. So, Zoun scouted the timing of the Hive, by the way, and the Spire, so he knows approximately when Broodlords should be out.
That's really smart.
Well, that's a lot of Banelings, that's third, oh my gosh.
Oh, storms! Oh, massive!
Wow.
Kills off that gateway for sure, but I mean... DRG.
Big gateway pick off there.
That was a really smart thing actually as well, which you said with the he knows that Zoun has to move out eventually here because there's the Broodlord timing coming in, but I really thought that he would just kind of wait for Zoun to move out and then go in with those Banelings, but just kind of have a Hail Mary there, just going for it.
Yeah, it seems like quite a strange, unnecessary move. Like, if Zoun's not ready, it can obviously do a lot of damage, but a strange move for sure.
Coming in. Stargate tech is going to be added into the mix as well. We'll try to start prepping for that one.
Yeah, Zoun potentially looking to get into carriers. I still think he should try to push and clear some creep and at least fake an attack, even if he wants to turtle and get carriers eventually. It seems like he might be doing something like that right now.
Alright, alright. Oh boy. Moving out. It's a scary amount of Banelings. Yeah.
It's so scary to push on the creep when you're when you know the Baneling count is this high.
Yeah. Would you prioritize force shields here or storms? Which one would you open up with these types here?
You kind of don't really have time to think. You just throw down whatever spells seem good in the moment.
Whichever you have selected at the time.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
As fast as possible, you just try to throw down force fields and storms.
Alright.
We have a Zealot run by at the top. We have army clearing creep in the middle.
Yeah, he's slowly gaining some ground here, but of course those Broodlords, they are on the way. Fleet Beacon only now being thrown down with 2 extra Stargates, but time is ticking. Luckily he does have that blink already here, but I mean DRG.
Lots of Banelings coming in from
boy. Oh, that's a lot of that Templar. Oh.
That was so many Banelings. I can't believe how little they got done actually.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of them did roll straight into through the 2 storms there. Even on creep that was, but I mean, does it really need to do more? that's the scary part now.
Yeah, that is the scary part. It still seems like DRG is quite okay with having these Broodlords and Ravagers out.
Oh, it might be a little bit more doable to blink underneath the Broodlords at the moment. First 2 carriers are on the field. Or, well, on the production tab, I mean. Sorry?
Unit's lost tab is really different, but it still seems like DRG is able to push it here. Maybe Zoun can blink under the Broodlords with no Banelings, but it's going to be difficult. Oh, there's more Banelings.
There you go. Oh no! They've returned! Storm's trying to get some work done. Immortals only now left here. More Stalkers from the top side. Not really finding all the damage that they need, although maybe, perhaps, with those cannons and the shield batteries as well. He holds on for now. It's gonna allow him to perhaps get the advantage. Well, at least get some carriers out. It's been a while since we've had to say that Zoun has the advantage, but I don't know.
It seems like Zoun has managed to stabilize for sure. If you can hold off this next attack. Actually, DRG has no Corruptors in its army, so this carrier should just start going to town. All these carriers.
This kind of comes back down to the 2 weird Baneling engagements that we saw, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Those Banelings would have helped a lot. The
boy.
Banelings are rolling in now. They're actually going to clear, it looks like, the entire mineral line.
Yeah, 16.
But
oh my dear lord.
DRG's entire army should go down here to these 3 carriers.
There is a lot of Corruptors in that production tab though, so I'm not sure if Zoun is going to have the opportunity to really go for a counter-attack.
He actually has a 5th base up. I didn't even notice that. That's nice to have.
Yeah, she's just awkwardly running into that one as well there, like, oh, no, there's another one.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, supplies looking pretty equal here. Zoun, of course, a little bit behind on the overall worker counts, but let's take a look at that income graph. Let's stop looking at that income graph. It doesn't look too great. More Baneling run by here, most likely going to be taking place. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Zoun should be attacking quickly after cleaning up that army, but it seems like he's just going to take the turtle option, which I think is also okay. Not sure which one I would have rather seen from him.
Well, I mean, it's very likely for DRG to just make a lot of Corruptors now at this point, right? And then if he does go across the map with a small amount of carriers, or at least a small amount of protection for those carriers, that is just gonna backfire. But at the same time, I mean, that game number 2, he kind of died to Corruptors just continuously gooping down all his Nexi, and oh boy, we might be having that happen again here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Zoun definitely had the army to defend that, but he just didn't have the vision to be in the right position to defend that base.
Yeah.
And it seems like that is going to be his cue to maybe go all in here, since he just lost another one of his bases, and his economy is really not good right now.
I think you're right. I don't think he has much else of a choice at the moment. There's a lot of spine crawlers everywhere. Zoun, fortunately, going to the place where they are with the least amount. A lot of Banelings are still available, but those Storms might be able to get a good couple of connections. Actually, the Banelings mostly hitting the Archons there. Archons getting rid of a lot of the Corruptors.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh my, Estrella. Is he doing it?
He might barely be doing it.
There's a lot of Corruptors on that production tab. Oh boy.
Yeah, 5 more Corruptors on the way. We have no Corruptors out right now.
There's no reinforcements for Zoun anywhere nearby though. He doesn't have a War Prism or any pylon anywhere in the vicinity.
Yeah, he's slowly walking his units away from his Nexus Warpin.
Yeah, those Archons right there just kind of hesitant to actually come across the map as well. He did see some of those Roaches and Ravagers walking into the fields, trying to perhaps intercept something here. Oh, this is a nice catch though, getting a lot of the workers here. If you can kill this base, would you what would be good? Prioritizing the drones there? Just chasing them or just killing the base here?
But yeah, if he gets this base, he's actually going to be up in economy again, so this is fine. If he gets this base and goes back home, I would be okay with that. But
Recall? There it
DRG
is.
still does only have...
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Zoun couldn't have known it, but DRG didn't have that many corruptors still.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Zoun is in a good position economically now. He's building a 5th base compared to DRG's 3, so...
Oh, that unit lost tab. Really not favoring DRG anymore, is it?
Yeah, that's not pretty at all.
Nor is that economic advantage. Right.
This is a really tough position for DRG to play from.
I agree, honestly. We haven't gotten to say that just yet in this series, but it's actually happening here. Which is notable. It's off the back of the Adept aggression not really doing anything again.
Yeah, like you said earlier, just throwing away a bunch of banelings I think is the main reason this kind of ended up good eventually for Zoun.
Yeah. Yeah, because even
Zoun...
if you don't waste the banelings, so even if you don't make the banelings, you're gonna have so many more corruptors, right, to get rid of those carriers later on.
Right.
Because you don't have to replenish them either. Because now you had to do, I think, like 2 or 3 extra enormous waves of banelings, and they cost a lot of money. They do. They're very good and strong, but you know what? They do cost a lot of money.
That is very, very true. Very, very true. And DRG is still struggling, still behind Zoun economically. It seems like he's just building units, and maybe will attack eventually. He doesn't have the typical things you need to play a Zerg late game versus Protoss is Infestors and Vipers, and he's just continuing to build Corruptors and Banelings.
Yeah. Well, at least he's not going Mutalisk, right? Nice.
That would be interesting.
Typical DRG. Just continuously spamming out those muds until they don't work anymore. Right,
Yeah,
well...
I really think that the longer this goes, the better and better it gets for Zoun, since this DRG's army is just not being upgraded at all. He's stuck on this Ling Bane Ravager Corruptor.
So, if you were Zoun right now, what would you try to prioritize? Would you still try to get like run-bys going, or try to deny bases? Just kind of wait till your max supply?
A move would win, just like he's doing right now.
Alright, the A move has been activated. And he goes, needs to press that T button a couple of times as well. Does manage, oh my god, so many banelings once again missing their target. Those Archons, they are paying very well for themselves. Oh, you know what? I mean, if he does get rid of all those Archons, the Corruptors might be able to do a bit more. He only has the +1 armor upgrade here for the Corruptors as well. Then again, there's only the +1 attack upgrade for the carriers too, and oh my dear lord, is he gonna break through here? Still a couple of Corruptors, only 4 of them actually, the Archons underneath with the Stalkers. It looks pretty good. There it is, GG is called.
G.
Did you just say singular G?
No, I said GG.
Okay. Whew. I'm gonna have to talk about that one if that was the case then.
When you asked me what I would have prioritized as Zoun, and sometimes the good old-fashioned "my army's bigger than yours, I'm gonna kill you" is the way.
Yeah, he did have to wait a moment, try to remake his army there for a while, but with that bigger economy, yeah. I guess you do want to make sure that he doesn't have like bases in the top side as well, right? Just so you know that you are in that position.
Yeah, that's a good point. Scouting is important to know what position you're actually in.
Yeah.
So that you can make a proper decision. Like, oh, I know I have a big enough army. I'll just kill you.
All right. Guys, we're gonna go into game number. Is it game number 5? Is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
It's 3-1 for DRG.
All right. Well. Oh, I forgot to make referees. It's fine. They know what to do. They can press that unpause button if it does come to that point. Anyway, Zen. kind of like if there's any map for Mutalisk, would this be the map to do them on?
They're not bad on this map. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is a fine Mutalisk map.
It's because
Oh, here we go.
for Terran, it's
Zoun,
usually the map for battle cruises, right? Yeah, there is happening.
Is it versus Zerg?
Versus Zerg, yeah.
I think
It's because of that dead space between those, the first, the second, and the third base all have this dead space in between on the same side. So I felt like that kind of would translate. So I'm going for the hatchery block this time.
Yeah, I'm really happy to see Zoun mixing it up. I was wondering if he was going to do this at any point during the series.
There it is. Dreams do come true, Estrella. They do come true. Anyway, oh, DRG not even bothering. He's like, okay, I'll take this base. Anyway, quick introductions. In the bottom left side, we have Afrika Freaks' Dongregu.
And in the top right, we have our Protoss hero from Alpha X, Zoun. You can tell I'm not biased at all.
Nope. How did the I missed the tail end of the clan war from yesterday. How did it actually end?
We won in the ace match.
The ace match. Okay.
Thanks to my wonderful play.
You got to play in the ace match? Wow, okay.
Yeah.
And this must have been a hard choice. Who did you play against?
I played Jim in my first match, and then I played Maxed in the ace match.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw the you versus Jim. At least I saw the second game. And then I saw Zoun kind of, you know what? Well, winning one game, and then everyone was like, okay, 4-0.
Yeah.
Everything kind of went backwards.
That was a pretty crazy comeback from IG, actually, to win 3 games in a row like that.
It was pretty nuts. Especially when, because it was Zoun, right? Everyone was kind of like, okay, yeah, this should be good. But,
so,
yeah.
Should I talk about some boring StarCraft theory for a bit?
Yeah, go for it.
So the
I love boring StarCraft theory. Nice.
A lot of players like to do hatch block also with the adept build, because then the bases are separated. So there's drones at the third and the main base instead of the main and the natural base. So the adepts become even more powerful.
All right.
But since Dongregu started holding this build with Zerglings primarily instead of roaches, which people used to be doing, I think it matters less now that Dongregu has his Zergling response.
Yeah, that could very well be the case. It's just, it's still weird to me that like it turned out to be Zerglings to be the counter to this. Isn't? You would expect Zergs to usually have Zerglings in the beginning anyway, and then it's like, I don't know, Dongregu just has this superpower with Lings where it's just like, yeah, you can do this with Lings, guys, it's fine. You know?
The reason that I think Zergs didn't figure it right away is because if you only stick on Ling Queen, then you'll die eventually if the Protoss keeps warping in the depths. But the key is like Zerglings to hold the first wave and then Roaches to hold the following waves.
I see. So you can get a couple more of those drones out as well that way, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, the Overlord is gonna get the scouts here, it looks like. He sees the timing of that Robo. Yeah, coming in. He's gonna get this, right? He's gonna see this, right? Oh my god, oh, did he? That was close.
He did see it, but honestly, he probably knew either way.
Yeah. It's still exciting, alright?
Yeah.
Give me my little casting pleasures, alright? Yeah, more gateways on the way now. Is there actually a variation of the amount of gateways you can go for with this initial attack, or?
Yeah, so Zoun's going 6 gateways this game. I'm actually super curious to see if this will work or not. Because normally you stick to only 4. But this might be good versus Dongregu's response in particular, because Zerglings are only really good versus the slightly lower amount of adepts. So we'll see if this works or not.
It's also sending a lot of those Zerglings for a counter-attack. Wants to make sure there's no third base coming. Yeah, this could be pretty good, right? He's still only making Zerglings. That Roach Warren is done, but he is just producing Lings at the moment. Okay, oh, there's the Roaches. Did he already have Roaches? No, just the 5 Queens and a lot of Lings. And some of them are across the map here as well. Let's take a look what these Adepts are going to be able to get done. Killing of Creep. That's a good start. But that's a lot of Zerglings as well.
Man, Dongrigu's all the way up to 49 drones. He's only got 5 Roaches out right now. I think this is going to be really tough. And the Adepts are shading. Do you think they're going to finish?
Oh, yeah.
Finish.
Really
I think they're going to own these Zerglings.
Well, do you think you should split up here with the Shades, or do you think you should just go to the big
this is all
ball?
in. He bunches the Adepts up. He shades from base to base. Yeah, we have 6 more Adepts shading to the 3rd base. Adepts from the main shading to the natural again. This is looking really good for Zoun right now.
Okay, he's really doing it, guys. That's 4 Roaches only available, 4 Queens and 4 Zerglings. Targeting down those drones in that 3rd base right now. You know what? None of them actually remain. No drones in that main base either at the moment. Just this 1 base right here, so DRG can actually defend just using those Roaches right now.
Yeah,
Mostly.
DRG going all the way down to 33 workers, so he's lost 16. But it seems like he might finally have the army to hold this off.
Yeah, I mean, 16 worker kills. It does seem like a lot, but that worker count for DRG is still looking pretty solid. And this is a big committal, of course, for Zoun with the extra gateways.
Yeah, Zoun, normally you would have the gases at the natural by now, but Zoun doesn't even have those yet because of the extra gateways. Just now finished.
Right. That's a good point too. And of course, no 3rd either. He's moving backwards.
So seems like it's macro time.
Yeah. Plan B time.
Oh, actually, the Immortals are coming across the map, so I could be wrong about that. Oh, this Immortal could get caught by the Zerglings. This would be huge. Oh, he recalls
Recall. Big brain.
That's pretty funny.
Does still have an Adept at the wall there. Okay, only a single Immortal. Is he gonna go with the Warpless and cat that other one? It looks like he will.
Oh man, I hate to point this out, but this is a massive supply block from Zoun.
Oh.
He's not going to be able to work on anything for another 12 seconds.
Well, this is, you know what, White Terran, of course, superior, can call in that supply. Yeah, oh, the
still,
Adepts.
This is a very scary army from Zoun. 2 Immortals, more Adepts working.
1 Immortal in the back, not really doing anything though so far, but you know what, it might still work out. Army supply getting closer and closer. Zerglings coming in from behind will be able to wrap around those Immortals.
Yeah, the Immortals are targeting the Zerglings, not the Roaches, because the Zerglings came from behind, so that really helps on their defense.
It's a good call, and it does
Prism! Oh, it didn't go down. What happened?
He didn't have enough miles. But yeah, again, once more DRG holds. Still no 3rd base for Zoun here. Nothing really to fall back on, and he's still gonna give it a good swing though, of course. As he only has 2 games left to lose here. Now, you think he has a good grasp on how many workers he killed or in what state he is in the game, Zoun?
I think he knows he's in a very dire straits right now.
Yeah.
He knows that was very all-in push by him. 2 Immortals, 6 gateways, no 3rd base. I'm sure he knows that times are not looking good for Zoun.
Right.
This is
sweating.
kind of cool, getting every single creep tumor.
That's the way to do it. It doesn't even have the energy now to replenish all those creep tumors, I think. Maybe a couple.
Yeah. Seems like Dongregu is more than happy to just march across the map, though. Zoun has a really crazy sentry count, though, since he hasn't built them at all. He had all this gas saved up. So he might be able to hold this, actually.
There are only 4 Ravagers. If he does have to use all of the biles, actually 6 now. If he does have to use all the biles still, though, to get rid of those source fields, might still be pretty good. Moving backwards, nice micro so far, but the force field's not really hitting their mark at the moment. Doesn't want to use them all in one shot, of course, either, but DRG's army supply twice the amount of Zoun right now, and just moving forward. Those Immortals getting lower and lower. The shield battery in the back still available, though. We'll keep those Immortals alive here a little bit longer, and actually another Immortal coming in. DRG gets pushed back.
Yeah, that was a pretty impressive hold by Zoun. I have to point out, I think Zoun's plan was to go for another all-in anyway, since he went up to 8 gateways now and still no forage. So DRG kind of attacked into Zoun's planned all-in, but nonetheless, it was a good micro from Zoun to hold.
Yeah. Now DRG, it looks like he's just gonna make more and more units and run his face into Zoun's.
Well, Zoun is also running
third
his face
phase
into
again.
DRG, so seems like they just both want to run their faces into each other right now.
They just want to kiss each other. That's. Oh man.
Zoun is running his face to the left. DRG is running his face to the right.
Alright, well, I'm not sure if I like this for Zoun, but he's gonna try it anyway. That's a lot of Zerglings now wrapping around all those sentries.
Massive Zerg army. Oh my gosh, that's so many roaches and radicals.
Might be it. That might be it, Australia. There's also Zerglings in that third base. Eating up the probes. You had a second phase, apparently. This could go anywhere. Man, alright, that makes DRG be on match point, of course. And we'll have to wait and see if he can finish it off. Zoun, I mean, dire straits right now. This is kind of just a little bit of the overall case that happens usually when I cast DRG these days. I casted him against Rex recently as well in the ZVZ. Oh my god, that wasn't even close. It was a slaughter. But I always feel like DRG is particularly well in the ZVZ matchup, to be fair. I think that's his strength.
Well, he's certainly showing up today in his PvZ as well. So.
That's true. That is true. It's even more frightful now.
Yeah, it seems like
everything.
Zoun has tried quite a few different tricks to throw at DRG, but actually, to be fair, I thought Zoun had some good chances that game. The initial push did a lot from him, and his DRG's drone count got quite low. But maybe the follow-up all-in wasn't quite the right choice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, it is 4-1 for DRG now. Match point.
I really did like the more heavily all-in adept thing, especially with the hatchery block. Combine it with that, give it a little bit more of a potent push, but it just wasn't enough. Still wasn't enough. All right. Here we go. Actually, it's 4-1 now. So. Game number 6. In that top left side, we have Alpha Axis. Red Protoss. Can he push through? Needs to win 4 games in a row. That's quite a bit big ask. He is a Zoun.
Fighting! And in the bottom left, we have Africa. DRG.
I was watching Hearthstone stream recently when they were watching the GSL as well, and when somebody had to leave, and instead of saying goodbye, they just said fighting.
It's the Korean thing. It's like,
yeah.
Good luck, fighting.
Fighting. I thought that was quite funny. But it was so casual as well. Like they didn't even blink anymore. Just like, yep. That's what we say. It originated from just a lot of Koreans shouting it from the audience, I suppose, right? Maybe it didn't even originate from esports, but... Huh.
Yeah, I don't really know the origin of it. It is definitely the most common thing I hear Koreans say.
Yeah.
Instead of good luck, it's always fighting.
Yeah, but then why an English term as well?
It is an English term, huh? But it's not common. English people don't really say that, do they?
They don't. So that makes it even weirder. It's like nobody in an English-speaking country is saying it. Yet here they are. It's like there was like one crazy army guy or something that didn't know how to speak Korean, and then he was just like, he just yelled that out or something, and misinterpreted and thought it was like good luck or something. I don't even know.
He's like, yeah, I guess I'm fighting.
Oh, fighting! Oh. Alright, anyway. Stargates. Alright. Zoun bringing down the Oracle Hammer once again. A very quick 3 hatch from DRG this time around as well.
yeah, standard, pretty normal macro from both players, it seems. I think the interesting thing that Protosses have gotten quite a bit better at recently is hiding what build they're doing. So oftentimes it's very hard for Zerg to know if the Adepts are coming, or if the Phoenix or the Oracles are coming, or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I'll have to prep for
you
both.
can be very, yeah, you can be very tricky as Protoss, depending on what you show the Zerg. Because the Zergs, all the information they have is coming from this Overlord at the natural, right?
Yep, that's true. That's true. And you can't send that second Overlord across either, right? In case of some sort of proxy in your natural. Or
yeah,
close by.
sometimes you can send it across, but it's risky versus players who can cannon rush or do something tricky like that.
Yeah. I've never seen Zoun do anything like that, though, so... Maybe you could consider mixing that in as well now and again with Overlords, but...
Yeah, I personally think that's good, but maybe Zerg players have some reason I am not aware of. But
Yeah.
as far as I know, that's a good thing to mix in. But it
Well,
is going to be Phoenix.
He knows now.
Phoenix Orc. He definitely knows.
He's
That is
like,
not a hallucinated Phoenix.
it does kind of hurt a little bit, yes, but... Oh, my god! Explodes.
So, like what I was talking about earlier with hiding builds, that's Zoun didn't do it in this game. It was very obvious what he was doing. Obviously,
Yeah.
when the Overlord started feeling tickled, it got quite obvious.
It's,
But if you,
more
like,
Phoenixes, actually. Instead of Orc. Oh, wait, there is an Orc. Never mind.
2 Stargate.
Interesting, interesting. You do see this sometimes, right? So you, with the first Phoenix, you start clearing out, so you can go for that second Stargate. Is there another reason why you would kind of want to kill off all the Overlords? Some other type of attack you could go in after the Stargates? Because like an Adept Bush or something like that, right? Probably won't do that much anymore. Because it's so delayed.
Yeah, so if you could see a Phoenix, there's like a slightly later timing of builds. You don't really know what's coming. Like it could be a Glaives build after killing the Overlord with a Phoenix.
Okay.
It could be 2 Stargate, like we're seeing from Zoun. But if you don't show Phoenix, then like the range of builds you have to be prepared as for Zerg changes again, you know?
Yeah.
So based on like what you're seeing, you kind of Zerg is like has a puzzle trying to figure out what Protoss is doing.
Yeah. Is DRG doing it well so far, you'd say?
He's got +1 melee, he's got a Baneling Nest, a layer on the way.
It's perfect
So,
against
I don't know.
Phoenix.
Yeah, it's quite good. I don't know if DRG had an idea like, oh, maybe he's going 2 Stargate, or he just chose this anyways, but I'd say his build is quite fine for what he's up against right now.
Yeah. We know he does enjoy those Zerglings after all, so... Really,
This is actually
really
a style I want to say Dark popularized, where you just kind of get +1 melee and Baneling Nest really fast and put a lot of pressure on the Protoss. Well, DRG didn't do the pressure part, but
So, I have a question. There's 2 robotics facilities as well being made. What's that? What are those for? It's gonna go for like a big follow-up after the Mass Phoenix here. Going to Mass Immortals.
yeah, sometimes you can. Okay, Phoenix are coming into the natural. They're 4 drone kills so far. Sometimes they're for a sharp timing attack, but often it's just to catch up on the immortal count because your robo is so late when you go
Alright.
2 Stargate Phoenix.
So it's pretty normal, you would say, as well.
It's not too. There's a couple ways you can do it, but it's not common. But these
Right.
Phoenix are doing really well so far, by the way.
Yeah, 7 kills. I mean, it still needs to be wary, of course, those circling numbers, they are still up and about. Are moving across the map here as well, but... there's no banelings or anything like that, right? There's no baneling speed, so it's gonna be very hard for him to really bust through here with anything. Gets a
Yeah,
probe.
he's got a shield battery going up. He's playing very safe right now.
Yep.
It's quite good.
Spore
And he's
corners.
actually, did I see that correctly? I thought he was killing a robotics bay for a bit, but he canceled the queue. No, Templar. He changed his mind.
I didn't see it. So probably didn't happen because I see everything.
You have to believe me.
Right, well, how many Phoenixes died so far? It's just 1, that's pretty good. Still has the 6 here. 13 working kills so far. Another Overlord's gonna get gunned down. And, well, 4 gateways now being constructed. It's just gonna go all in. A lot of cannons as well. And the Templar
Actually,
Archives. He's getting
Very
everything.
surprised. DRG doesn't have a Hydralisk 10 or a Spire yet, he actually hasn't chosen something that kind of sort of seems quite interesting.
Yeah. Now these cannons, would you say they are indicating a little bit that Zoun wants to leave his base for an attack pretty soon?
I'm not really sure. It's the cannon at the natural is interesting because you're not afraid of mutas, so I'm not quite sure what that's for. But yeah, maybe he wants to hit a timing attack relatively soon.
Yeah.
Although he's going storm, so maybe he doesn't want to attack. I'm not sure.
He's a puzzle, isn't he? It's making it even difficult for us.
He's just going to attack with these roaches, but there are a bunch of Phoenix on the map. If they come home, they could punish this. It's going back home.
So there's more Queens than Phoenixes here. Has to back out of that one. So, whoa, my dear lord. 39 banelings in the production. Alright.
Oh, he sees there's an observer over DRG's army. That's really good.
These banelings, though, they're getting close to finishing.
Storm is almost
Zoun.
done. Storm?
Zoun.
Storm! Yeah, there we go.
Okay, he gets them. There were more banelings, right? They are coming in right now. They're being spotted by the observer, though. What will we have? More storm? Yes, sir. They're getting close, though. Ah, it's okay-ish. Is it okay?
Really,
it's okay.
It looks okay. You don't need to worry, man.
You heard it here first, guys. It looks okay. We got him. Zoun still stays alive here. A lot of Zerglings behind this, though, of course, but not going to be that great against the hefty Zealot count. More High Templar.
Could cancel his 4th base. The Zerglings are canceling the 4th base right now.
Why did they have to go here? Right, yeah, that's a good cancel, actually. Hive Tech behind this as well on the way already. Gets an Archon, too. Fleet Beacon already on the way, though. It's one of the benefits of opening up with the double Stargates. You're a lot quicker with the transition into that ultimate late game composition for Protoss.
That is true. And these Phoenix are having a really nice time just killing these roaches one by one. Or helpless roaches.
Pick up another one. Dangling in the air. Oh, help me! Anyway, yeah. DRG just letting him have them as well so far.
Just like
just does a little bit of damage on those rocks and then it's like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, this is reminding me of that game where DRG just kept throwing away those banelings. Look at the unit's last tab once again for this thing. It's looking really similar.
I mean, now that those rocks are gone, he's like, oh wait, there's Protoss buildings behind there as well. Hold up.
There's still a full wall. What happened?
Oh, snap.
That's funny. Zoun's wall is actually it's quite a wall.
It is, truly, isn't it? I mean, you'd almost say it's Chinese at this point.
I was gonna say he's looking like Showtime, but
yeah, could be the case too.
We got a big Zealot working on the bottom right. Baneling's at the top. Zoun is looking, of course. Oh,
yeah, they're gonna connect.
Still got 4 workers, but I'm looking.
Too bad.
Thinking.
Oh my dear lord, that was in trouble. Ooh. Oh, the Stalker's coming in. Probes, run, run! There's the force fields. Force fields. Oh, that's so good. Oh my god, getting only 7 workers with how many banelings were that? That's an insane amount of banelings. I didn't get to count them, but I thought those were quite plentiful.
Yeah, I mean, the unit's last tab is really telling the story of this game.
Yeah, but the thing is, if a baneling explodes on its own accord, it doesn't show up on the unit's lost tab for some reason, right? So,
is that right?
Yeah.
I didn't think that was true. Are you sure about that?
I am pretty sure about that. Because I've been annoyed by it at some point when I was like, how many banelings? And then it was like 4, and well, I saw like 12 of them explode on an army or something like that. I think so. But then again, you know what? I'm not that good at casting, so
oh no, the wall!
The wall again! No!
Oh, no!
Well, definitely Korean. Alright. In trouble.
That's so many probes. Oh,
Jeez Louise. You know, often have Zerglings be more successful at killing probes than banelings, but it's what happens here. So is this gonna force Zoun's hand here just to go for an attack, or?
I don't think so. The thing is, Zoun's army is still really big, even though his economy is not that big, so it might be worth it to max out. first because his army is so big anyways, you know?
Yeah, that
And
makes
his
sense.
army will be so strong with such a small prototype. But he is getting carriers.
What about upgrades?
DRG has a... what are Zoun's ground upgrades? +2. He
Yeah.
needs air upgrades, definitely. He should probably have started those a while ago, but hopefully he realizes.
Well, his Cybercore got destroyed, didn't it? Maybe that's...
It did.
I'm not sure if he was producing at that time, but... Oh boy, that's a dead Oracle. Let's get a final revelation off, but...
DRG's worker count
Yeah?
has been really high all game, by the way.
It has been.
Which is why he's been able to constantly throw these units into Zoun's face all game long.
Also, he's pretty much maxed out right now on mostly what seems to be still Zerglings, Roaches, Ravagers, and Banelings. So I feel like that carrier army might be able to get a pretty good trade going here.
Yeah, I think so.
How many? 8 Corruptors.
There are only 3 carriers, though.
That's true. Oh, and 7 of them becoming Broodlords right now. So he's gonna have a grand total of 1 Corruptor here.
That is not enough to beat 3 carriers.
Nope.
Oh, the wall! He's coming for the wall again.
Oh my god, this wall, man. I'm glad I'm not one of the Protoss engineers here, having to rebuild this continuously. No more Protoss are gonna die, but Zoun is doing a lot of stuff of his own as well. On the other side of the map here has a good amount of forces. Also, he still has some of those Phoenixes left alive, so they will be able to tank a little bit here if Corruptors do come into play. They don't do that well against them, but they still tank a little bit, right?
Yeah, Phoenix are helpful, and I just don't think DRG's army is going to be big enough. There's no air units. The strongest part of his army are 8 Broodlords, but there's carriers and Phoenix out, so looks like DRG's army is just kind of melting away right now.
He needs to start poking those Broodlords, though. They are just getting free shots for a while now.
Yeah, the Broodlords are going down. It's down to only 4 Broodlords. If these Broodlords go down, I think it's all over.
The Ark on flank. He's here. He's doing it.
Oh,
Zoun
done it. Wow.
Look at that supply. He did it. GG once again.
Nice.
4-2. All right. 3 more games to go. Easy peasy, right? Right.
Easy peasy.
Easy
Did that game look hard to you?
No. Unless for that wall, that was a rough day for him. But other than that,
that wall actually saved him so many times.
Yeah.
Even though it started falling at the end because he threw like 30 Banelings at it. That wall really saved him.
Now, we've not seen a single time Mutalisk come into play just yet. I mean, are we certain this is DRG? Because I kind of make the call that we're going to see a lot of Mutalisk at the start of this, but it hasn't really happened yet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the way the games have been playing out, Mutas just maybe haven't been the best choice.
Maybe. Right, guys, remember we do have that Matcherino page available. Just gonna do some quick thingamajigs here. It has the... Let me see actually if this is already good and well set up. Did I do my due diligence? Let's take a look. I did! Look at that. Alright, so this is the Matcherino page. And if you want to go to this website, of course, it is just above the chat window. You will find the link there. All you gotta do is grab that code as well, APS169. You sign in here with whatever account you want to. Twitch, YouTube, Twitter. You probably have something out of that list. And you just press that button. And there you go. You're logged in. Contribute. Put that code in there. And voila, 50 cents just added to the prize pool like that. And of course those players will be ever so thankful. Of course we also have the replay pack right there available, $2 for the entirety of this series. And you could learn a little bit from DRG, I suppose, and also from Zoun. DRG maybe people would like to see a little bit more of right now, being able to defeat that adept pressure quite handily a couple of times now. Kind of see where that went wrong. Anyway, so that is that. Also, of course, we would not be here without our sponsor, which is... let me do a quick shout out for the G Fuel. Since 2004, G Fuel has been providing top gamers And, well, gaming individuals like, such as PewDiePie, Dr. Disrespect with energy, focus, and endurance. They've just released their new flavor, Castro's Guava. A flavor that pays tribute to the streamer's Castro's rich Mexican heritage. Get the new flavor alone or in its limited edition collector's box. They also add to the prize pool, guys, so make sure to go check them out on Metrino as well and do some quests for them. Alright? Alright. Alright. Do you know...
That was a beautiful,
Castro?
It's a beautiful announcement.
Thank you.
I do not.
I don't either, honestly. It feels a bit weird shouting him out in a way when I'm like, who is that guy every time?
That's funny.
Then, like, he's gonna see all those videos that I made for him specifically, right? All those shoutouts, and it's gonna be like, oh, this guy's a big fan. Anyway.
If there's any map I would expect mutas on, it might be this one actually.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Although those slow fields, it might become a killing field if phoenixes are out as well. The micro, is that gonna make the micro for the phoenixes easier or harder to do?
I would have to say easier.
Right. That is the answer I was hoping for. In his top side, the 12 o'clock, there's a blue Zerg fighting for Afrika Freaks. He is Dong Regu. Back from the military, but still being able to shut down some noobs on the internets.
Yeah, and some players who aren't noobs. Lots of players that aren't noobs actually.
Yeah.
In the top right, on the right hand side.
That's 3 o'clock.
The 3 o'clock.
Hey.
Our Protoss player, Zoun.
You see our struggles as casters. It's horrible. These map makers don't know what they're doing to us.
I have to remember what an analog clock looks like.
It's been a while, hasn't it? Like, I remember solely from casting StarCraft 2. Just, haven't seen one in ages, but I still know it because of, because of casting.
That's right.
Right. Now, there's again no hedge block. We've only seen it on Zen so far. Would that be something you just continuously go for yourself, or also something you kind of have to mix in?
You don't want to do it 100% of games, although some players do actually do it 100% of games. Like that's almost always goes for it.
Yeah.
But if you do get it off, I think it's always worth it.
All right. So in what way wouldn't you get it off? The Zerg just going for a quicker hatch, or?
Yeah, depending on your timing. If the Zerg throws down a 15 hatch or a 14 hatch, you'll get it. They'll get off the hatch block even if you send your probe really quickly across the map. But if they throw down a 14 hatch and you didn't send it right across the map, then you're real happy as Protoss.
I see.
So it's kind of like a mini rock paper scissors, but Zoun keeps playing rock over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not the most useful strat, is it?
Not really.
It's like, aha, this time he will certainly not expect the same thing I've been doing over and over again.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, the thing is, obviously, you can gate scout and be fine, but you can get a slight advantage if you kind of throw out some different options.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? He is 2-4 right now, and he is making this work a little bit more so. Was it the Zen game that he actually won as well? No, he lost that one as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he lost. That was the 6th gate claim squad, right?
Yeah, I dealt, I think, like 16 worker damage, and then it just wasn't enough. Wasn't enough.
Yeah, wasn't enough. The follow-up bowling still didn't manage.
You're joking? Look at how close the vision of that Overlord got to the Stargates here. That's nuts.
Barely doesn't see it, yeah.
Now he's moving back into the Goobledy zones.
What did you just call them?
The Goobledy zones.
Gooblety?
The Goobledy. I don't know.
Gooble.
Just slow zones. I always see them as like big jello pies, you know, just big piles of jello when you go through very slowly.
Look at the sport timing in the main base. Boop! I finished.
Hello!
Finished right in time. Zoun still does get 3 kills though.
Immediately got to do his job. 3 workers. For that spore being there and a queen. I guess the queen was on the wrong side of the hatchery, right? Well,
yeah, it seems like it's a bit far to the left.
yeah.
Of course, he didn't know it was coming, but the queen still could have been positioned a bit better.
Well, he somehow knew with that spore crawler being there.
Well, on this map, Stargate, the Oracle gets there so fast, I feel like Zergs usually play safe versus this. Like, they get their spore real fast.
Zoun is going for more oracles here.
Zoun has he has a super safe setup actually. He's got 3 gateways, he's got constant oracles on the way. Dongregu actually going for +1 melee and baneling this, which is a little bit interesting.
Might be anticipating some adepts. Oh no, well. Could he go aggressive with this?
Dongregu?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is actually the Dark special build I was talking about, where Dark likes to get to about 50 drones +1 and just kind of attack with lings and banelings. And this could be what DRG is doing, but you can also use it defensively. Oracle's in the main base.
3 of them.
Lifting up Queen. 3. Oh, kind of miss. Oh,
Stay alive!
That was a little bit of miss micro there. We have 4 adepts going to the 3rd base also.
That's pretty good.
And it's completely empty, actually. Oh, the drone's running away really quickly. That's really good from Dongregu.
Now the Zerglings are on the other side of the map, transforming themselves into banelings right here. Are they gonna just roll into that 3rd base because they don't even have baneling speeches yet? So,
if Zoun is paying attention to the Zergling count, no, I don't think Zoun knows this is coming, so this could actually do a lot of damage. There's a shield battery at the 3rd, which is good. There's a lot of sentries, actually.
There is as well. And he does have a wall, again. Can this wall be as effective? Oh, needs to get there in time. Force fields!
1, 2... Oh, almost perfect force field, but he leaves a gap, so they're trickling in.
Dongregu not particularly keen on getting those banelings through. Still a lot of them, though. Probes needs to talk. The baneling does get it, so the probes don't get blown up here. Still a couple of Zerglings. Nice warp in there. Oh my god, did you see that? The Duke past the minerals, coming back around and then warping in. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, Dongregu is still rallying Zerglings across the map. He's got more in production also, so this isn't going to end quite yet. Oracle's a little bit low on energy. Baneling's morphing at the bottom.
I think he's... Yeah, well, he does get a good wrap around on those adepts here. Oracles are getting lower and lower on energy.
Yeah, the key is going to be these banelings. All those units could die to like 2 baneling shots if they clump up.
Well, yeah, and if they don't clump up, the Zerglings will get them. That's a bit of a problem here. Right, 5 more banelings remaining. We'll be able to start getting rid of some of these probes. T-powers the gateway there as well.
Oh no, his oracles are all out of energy. That's not good.
That might be it.
Oh.
What a way to end this one. Well, we had a good time. That was... No, wait, is there still a way for Zoun here to...
No,
probably not, right? No.
He can stay in the game because he's not going to lose his natural. Well, I say that, but the Zerglings are actually...
They're already here, yeah.
Yeah, this might just be okay.
Those little Genghis Khans are nibbling away at the big wall here. Letting see charge.
Look how many Zerglings that is. Wow.
It's an awkward amount.
In.
Mosh pit of Zerglings. Just add some heavy metal concepts here. So funny seeing 1 Zealot and 2 sentries just holding this. He's moving backwards. He's gone back into drones. He's like, alright, that's fine. I'll transition.
So what Zoun needs to do now is take the gold base and take the island base and hope DRG doesn't scout either of them.
Well, Archon drops? Could be okay. Would you try to still get a third base here if you're Zoun, or would you just say like,
That's what I'm saying. You take the hidden gold base.
they hit it? Oh, right. Sorry, not paying attention apparently. Still distressed of what I just saw, what I witnessed. Hitting gold base. Yeah, that might be a good call actually. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Zoun desperately trying to catch up by killing some Wipers at the third. Does get 6.
Yeah, it gets out of there too, but
Not bad. I have a hard time believing he's ever going to hold on. This link Hydra pushed. So.
Maybe if the links come in first and foremost alone here.
Yeah. You know, the supplies are closer than I thought they would be.
Surprisingly close, yeah. There's no banelings just yet. Zoun actually moving out here. Gets to have a fight before those banelings actually finish up. And this would be a great position for him to have a fight. Unless if DRG just runs around him and comes from both angles, I suppose.
Yeah. Dongrig was too smart to take it. To let his army.
Oh, circling on that bird.
Oh!
Oh my
Perfect
god.
force field though. Wow.
Saves it.
Zoun really needed that actually to stand here.
Yep. It's a big moment right there.
Maybe some stasis orbs would be helpful here.
Oh. Yeah, that could be good. Could be good. I don't think there's any overseers, so like potentially. Especially with these numbers of links.
Yeah.
Coming around one more time here. Actually, some of them.
This is actually way closer than I thought it would be. The supplies are still quite close. But there's just so many banelings. It's gonna be tough.
What?
Oh, Zealot wasn't on hold position.
Big mistake.
Come back here, Zerglings.
Man, he's gonna have a disappointed look on his face as he sees those Zerglings running off into the sunset.
Yeah, luckily it was only 5 Zerglings.
Two of his colleagues have to take over. It's always embarrassing.
You know, if he can get Storm out, it's only 30 seconds away, but DRG is looking to attack real soon here.
Yeah. There's a good amount of Archons and Zealots.
So many. Those Zealots are going to get wrecked if they connect with the Banelings.
Status Trap's not really catching the greatest of catches, but I mean, maybe making it a little bit more difficult for everything to run in.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, well, guys, it was a great run, but DRG still a little bit superior here. The old guards still holding the torch, not passing it on just yet. Zoun needs to try some other stuff, I suppose, the other next time that they do manage to face one another. But yeah, all right. That was any last thoughts on that final match there?
The Zoun got it, had me starting to believe at the end there, and then the Banelings rolled in, and then I didn't believe anymore. And
then a shit ton of Banelings showed up. Yeah. It's like, all right. Nope, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he still managed to get 2 games there, and for a while I thought, you know what, after those initial, DRG won like 3 games in a row, didn't he? And then
yeah, it seemed like Zoun started picking it up a little bit in the middle of the series and winning the macro games that got the carriers.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Actually,
like his builds were getting shut down a little bit too hard though, so he was having a rough time in the mid game.
Yeah. Oh well. Oh well. Anyway, guys, Estrella, thank you so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, of course. It was quite a surprise, suddenly, just hopping in here. And I very much appreciate always good insights, help me out, help the stream out overall. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Alright, guys, that's it then for the stream. Zoun and DRG is done and over with. I suppose GSL starting in like 15 minutes or something like that?
Yeah, starting soon. You guys should definitely check that out on Africa TV or YouTube.
Go check it out, guys. Go check it out. All right. I've been Kozen. With me, Max Angel. Estrella, one of the best Alpha X's. I just became part of your fan club, by the way, on the Discord as well.
You did?
Yeah. This morning. Anyway, guys. Hope to see you again later on. Have a good one. I'm gonna roll a little bit of a video that is for an upcoming tournament, so you guys are aware that that is going on as well, and I hope to see you there. It is on our Twitch, though, not our Africa TV. Keep that in mind. Alright, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.
Adios.